Welcome to Durbania, I'm Durbin, and this is my spoiler-free review for Don't Breathe. It was an okay movie. Honestly, the only thing that I kind of thought going into it was it's going to be scary and it's going to be intense. Well, I didn't really think it was going to be scary, but I thought for sure it was going to be intense. You know, where you're constantly waiting for that jump scare. You're constantly waiting for that next thing to go right out of the shadows at you. I didn't really get that. I don't know, either I didn't have enough coffee in my system, so I was just really tired, or maybe I'm just that desensitized, but honestly, I didn't think this movie was that super intense. It has an intense premise. These three burglars go to do a heist in this blind guy's house in Detroit, and there's nobody in the neighborhood but him, so this is a gimme, because he's blind, so they should be able to do it, but then as you see from the trailers, this blind guy is utterly crazy, and it's not just this simple little thing, and people die, and crazy things happen, and, you know, movie ensues. But honestly, when I was watching it, I mean, there were great moments. There were great moments where it was intense. There were great moments where I was on the edge of my seat, but I didn't feel that way throughout the whole movie. I just felt like the story didn't reach its full potential. And one of the reasons I felt like the tension was undercut in this movie was probably those three main characters who are the burglars. So basically you got Money, who's the leader, you got Rocky, who is the girl, and then you got what's his name, Alex, who is the brains of the operation. And he's the brains of the operation because his dad runs security for homes and, you know, sets up security systems at homes and stuff like that. So they go rob those houses because, you know, Alex knows how to get in those houses. He knows his way around the security systems and all that stuff. So that's how they take care of that. So yeah, and I guess that's where I just had a hard time having sympathy for those characters. I mean, you got Alex, who in real life should be thrown in jail and his dad fired, but I guess in this movie universe, nobody's going to discover that pattern and track that down and arrest Alex and fire his dad. So I guess that's just not going to happen in this movie universe, but hey. Jane Levy, the lead girl in this, I think you were really supposed to feel that sympathy for her, and as an actress, she did a great job. I think she did what she was told to do, because throughout the whole movie where they're stuck in the house and she's scared, like, I was with her. I was with the dude playing Alex. Like, they did a fantastic job acting-wise. It's just the characters that I didn't really like. Because, as you get from the trailers, Jane has a daughter. Her mother is incredibly verbally abusive. She wants to have a better life with her daughter, provide her daughter with a better life. So that's why she's part of this heist thing, and they go rob houses and all that, you know, stuff. So that's why she's doing that. And you're supposed to see that that's the motivation. I guess she's not getting work, so this is how she's making money to try to carve out a better life for her daughter. And they want to move far, far away, and this is how it's going to be done. This last house with this blind vet, and he has a lot of money that he got from a settlement, so they do this. It's over. So that's where you're supposed to feel that sympathy for Rocky. But from the very beginning, there's something about her attitude that I just didn't like. And there was no part of this that kind of won me back. So that's kind of what undercut the tension of the movie for me, was I felt no sympathy for the main characters who were involved in this. I mean, normally, like, if I was watching some innocent people that were in that house stupidly on a dare, and then suddenly they're trapped, they can't get out, bad stuff goes down, yeah, then I start to feel a whole lot more sympathetic, like, oh my gosh, just get them out of there! But no, they were there to rob a blind man, like, seriously. So from the beginning, I just did not have that much sympathy for these characters. Stephen Lang, he played the blind vet, and he was awesome. I mean, he was the bad guy in Avatar. He's the bad guy you love to hate. He was amazing in Terra Nova. And those being the only two things that I've actually seen him in, I'll still say he's fantastic. But those two things I saw him in, I really liked. I really like his characterizations. I really like how he does it. I think he's a great actor. And this was no exception. And this, to me, was the saving grace of this movie, was watching Stephen Lang. This guy played just somebody who was utterly broken in his life. And because he was so broken, he went nuts. And he went, like, violently nuts. Take that house, make it Home Alone, and then take Home Alone and make it rated R. Oh my goodness, the guy was utterly insane. And because he portrayed this character as that freaking... because he played it that way, and he played it so good, that to me is what brought the tension to it. To me, it was like these really bad people going up against somebody that's kind of pure evil. And so that to me was like the one saving grace of this, that I was like, okay, I could kind of follow that. But, you know, really, they even had a line in this movie where Alex is like, hey, look, the cops aren't going to care why we're here. This guy's crazy with all the stuff that he's done. So they're not going to worry about their initial reason that we're here. I mean, we have to explain away stuff like that just to try to bring the audience back. Like, yeah, let's forget why they were actually there and just have some sympathy for them. And that's just where I struggled. The other thing about this movie is it was predictable. There were some places where the way they pulled off the tension in it, it worked, but most times it really didn't. There's just times they'd be fumbling with the door, fumbling with a lock, and it's like, okay, well, we haven't seen the blind guy in a while. I bet he's on the other side of that. Oh, yep, there he is. There was kind of a twist in this story, and I'm not going to say that because this is a spoiler-free review. It was a little bit nauseating, to be honest, but there was a little bit of a twist. But beyond that, there was a lot of stuff that was very predictable, and so those things all put together to me undercut that tension. Really what I feel like is Stephen Lang was the best part. He was the saving grace, and his dog. He had a Rottweiler. I like the dog. The dog was pretty awesome. Okay, beyond that, those were the two saving graces of this movie. Really, that's my feelings of it. It was a story that had great potential. I just don't feel like it was delivered to its full potential. It didn't reach the fullness of what it could have reached. And so, I don't know. I came out of it kind of disappointed. It just wasn't as intense as I felt the trailers were showing me it was going to be. So really, I'm going to give this movie 2.5 out of 5 stars. I did not hate this movie. I did not hate it while I was watching it, but I really have no desire to see it again. Having seen this movie, I could have really gone without having seen it. Like, you know, it just wasn't one of those movies I had to see, and having seen it, now I can truly say it's like, yeah, I don't know. This is not like a movie you have to see. Maybe you could rent it on Redbox or something later. I don't know. But those are my 2 cents on this movie. If you saw Don't Breathe, what did you think? Agree with me or disagree? You can let me know in the comments. I look forward to hearing from you. While you're there, make sure you hit that subscribe button and be on top of what's going on here at Durbania every time a new video gets posted and all that stuff. And if you like this video, hit that like button. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.